Good evening, hello and welcome. I'm Anusha Soni. Let's begin with some latest news coming. And after the silence, Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, has hit out at BJP. And this is about the BJP labeling him anti-Hindu. In his first response to the BJP attack, Mr. Kejriwal projected himself as a Hanuman Bhakt, a religious person who was born to destroy the people he called born to cons. He's a demon in Hindu mythology, vowing that he would finish them. Listen into what Arvind Kejriwal said during his roadshow in Vadodara while being on a tour to Gujarat. Listen.
धार्मिक आदमी हूँ, हनुमान जी का कट्टर भक्त हूँ। हनुमान जी की असीम कृपा है मेरे ऊपर। ये सब लोग कंस की औलादें भगवान का अपमान करते हैं, भक्तों का अपमान करते हैं, गुंडागर्दी करते हैं। जिस दिन मेरा जन्म हुआ था उस दिन जन्माष्टमी थी, श्री कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी, और मुझे भगवान ने एक स्पेशल काम दे के भेजा है, ये इन कंस की औलादों का नाश करने के लिए।
All right, cutting across to Rupashri Nanda, who will give us more perspective on this story. Rupashri, quite some laden narrative there, and especially the manner in which he's evoked the Hindu icons.
Well, absolutely. Everybody knows the story of, Kansa and Sri Krishna. And when Arvind Kejriwal refers to that, then the meaning is immediately communicated to the people. So remember the context in which he said this actually comes a day after the controversy erupted over Rajyapal Gautam's presence at a conversion ceremony here in the national capital by the Buddhist Society of India, in which and another organization of which Rajyapal Gautam was also heading, and that actually has given a handle to the BJP. And many organizations across Gujarat actually put up a lot of posters in various places targeting the Aam Aadmi Party and Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal as anti-Hindu. And the Kejriwal could have responded to these allegations also in the Jan Sabha that he held earlier in the day in Dahod. But he did not actually make any reference to that over there. But in Vadodara, actually, in the road show in the evening, when he reached there and the road show started, he started his speech by referring to this indirectly. And he also essentially said that the day which he's targeting the BJP are the children of Kansa. Now, Kansa was considered to be a king who was a sort of a tyrant, and a king who wanted to finish off his own sister's children, including Lord Krishna. And Kejriwal also makes that reference to Lord Krishna by saying that he was born in Janmashtami and with a special mission. And remember what happened in the mythology? It was Krishna who killed Kansa finally.
And Rupashri, as you point out, it's a very strong narrative which is being used, not on the defensive but attacking the political opponents. And the Aam Aadmi Party continues to retain that identity, that they are the party with a real agenda for the Hindus of the country. So that tone and tenor and pitch they want to maintain in the state of Gujarat. Well, our top focus this hour, a statement coming in from Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who's on his Bharat Jodo Yatra. He's reiterating that the Gandhi's family position vis-a-vis the upcoming presidential elections within the grand old party. Now, he said that there would be no remote control as and when the new Congress president takes over. The elections are on the 17th of October, and the indications are, in all likelihood, it's Mallikarjun Kharge versus Shashi Tharoor, and we are all set to have a non-Gandhi president after roughly about 15 years. Now, will this statement coming in from Rahul Gandhi hold any merit against the stinging criticism coming in from the BJP and many other political opponents? Despite a non-Gandhi president, as expected, will the party be controlled by 10 Janpath? That's what the critics are asking. At the end of the day, the reform within the grand old party demands a shift of power. Will that really happen? The churnings within the Congress party is our top focus this hour.
people who are standing have a position, have a perspective, and are people of stature and people of understanding. So I don't think either of them is going to be a remote control. I think frankly this tone is insulting to both of them.
बहुत से लोग ये प्रचार करते हैं कि भाई ये फिर रिमोट कंट्रोल से है, ये पीछे से काम करते हैं। डिसीजन इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स लेंगे, वर्किंग कमेटी होती है, इलेक्शन कमेटी होती है।
Well, to give us more perspective about whether Rahul Gandhi, his statement will hold any merit, what does it signify in the run-up to the elections, and what to expect in the next few days. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh, our senior editor, is with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, I asked you earlier as well, and I'd ask you again. The statement coming in from Rahul Gandhi, will it hold any merit against the stinging criticism? Or whatever he says, the criticism would always be that the party continues to be controlled by the Gandhis.
That's right. In fact, the last press conference, which was done by Mallikarjun Kharge, that was on 2nd of October, I think that was a giveaway. He did say that, I'll ask for a consensus candidate and I requested Tharoor to withdraw, which just goes on to show that the Congress party does want only one candidate to be set up. But more than that, when we asked him this question about what about the Gandhis, he kept on making the point that they're continuing to be the leader of the party and there's nothing which is going to stop us from going to the Gandhis for advice. And you know what that advice means. That's exactly what happened with Dr. Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi equation, and that's exactly what's going to happen as far as Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and the Gandhis are concerned. They're going to be working in tandem. Nothing can stop that impression from building up that at the end of the day, this election is a sham, and of course, it's the Gandhis who are controlling, calling the shots. Despite the fact that Rahul Gandhi, of course, said it's a humiliation and it's insulting to even suggest that they are going to be remote control.
Pallavi, to be fair to the Congress party, I think there's no way that they can logically defeat this criticism considering their history. I mean, it will always stay.
Yes, and the jury's still out on whether only the Congress party can be blamed for this or other political parties, especially personality-driven parties, work in a similar manner. But the fact that the Gandhis have walked out from the elections, they've stayed out, the fact that the elections are even taking place after 20 years, so Congress party is always going to flaunt this fact that unlike the other parties, particularly the BJP, at least they're holding elections.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pallavi, for getting us all that perspective. Well, joining us on the broadcast is our full panel of guests. Sanju Verma, who's the BJP national spokesperson, Professor Gargi Nandi Roy, who's a political analyst, Mr. Sumansi Raman, who's a political analyst, Rashid Kidwai, who's an author and senior journalist. Everyone is joining us on the broadcast. Good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Mr. Kidwai, I'll come to you first. The statement coming in from Rahul Gandhi on the expected lines, well, he couldn't have said that the Congress party will be controlled by the Gandhis even when you have a non-Gandhi president. But I would also say that there is no way that the Gandhis will be able to dispel this criticism. I'm sure Sanju would not agree when the Congress party is going to say that, this is a non-Gandhi face, we are having elections, we are better off than BJP and various other political parties in having the electoral process in the manner and form we are having.
Absolutely, Anusha. I think the Congress should stop feeling, defensive about it. Every political party has its own kind of character. There is, in the left, there has been a Bengal line that prevented Jyoti Basu from becoming Prime Minister. In the BJP, we know the role of, so to say, Sangh Parivar and the RSS and many family-run parties. Of course, the family is, the family member, whether it's Mulayam Singh or, Chandrasekhar Rao or any other MK Stalin, they really matter. So in this case, political legacy is firmly with the Gandhis, and in the Congress there are no two views about it. That doesn't mean people cannot function. I mean, all those people, Anusha, who keep saying, I'm saying something little controversial, all those people who keep saying that there was a remote control that governed Manmohan Singh, how is it that people of India gave a, renewed and a more, stronger verdict in 2009? So obviously there was some work that Manmohan Singh was doing, clicked with the masses, and of course in 2014 everything went bad for the Congress. So of course you can always say that there was a remote control and that led to the downfall of the Congress. So this is the long and short of it. I think the Congress gets on the defensive, but they have a work culture. I have seen Sitaram Kesri when Sonia Gandhi joined politics. Sitaram Kesri had become very status quoist because Mr. Kesri, stopped going for a campaign. He stopped, asserting. So it is for Mr. Kharge. If Mr. Kharge just limits himself to a kind of, just as a functionary, it will be a different thing.
Yeah. Let me come to you, Sanju. The argument of the Congress party is that we're having elections. See, the Gandhis have taken a step back. What about the BJP? Do you even have elections of any kind? And you have no moral or political authority for any kind of criticism to the Congress party. Respond to these charges, Sanju.
Anusha, I would actually like to take a cue from what Rashid Kidwai said. He made a very interesting point that, why should people not believe that the Congress is actually trying to mend its ways because, you're seeing some kind of change on the ground. By virtue of the same logic, anyone who has an iota of understanding of Indian polity agrees that finally winning elections is a big barometer about what people think about you, your leadership, your party, et al. And given that BJP is in power in 17 states in India, accounting for 49% of India's population and 44% of India's land area, by virtue of that logic and by virtue of the fact that the BJP won Lok Sabha 2014, 2019 and won 4 out of 5 states which went into polls earlier this year with a strike rate of 80%. By virtue of that logic, I can say that it is not a Modi Amit Shah party, as people would like to allege. By virtue of the fact that we've been winning election after election with a thumping majority, this shows that the Aam Janta on the ground knows that yes, this is the party that actually has internal democracy, which is not a sham, but is there in the truest sense of the term.
Let me try and contradict you on your own points. Brand Modi is a phenomena that the world recognizes. It's a brand in Indian politics today that can help you win any kind of elections. We know states like Uttar Pradesh, which did not really have a face, and I'm talking about the earlier elections, not this assembly elections, and they won with a thumping majority. It was brand Narendra Modi. You have won various elections because of brand Narendra Modi. And the question so much is not about the brand of Prime Minister and the Home Minister. It's about the internal democracy within the party. Talk about that, Sanju.
Okay. Anusha, with no offense to you, I think I have been one of the most vocal supporters of brand Modi much before even the coin was made popular at the expense of having been.
Why would I take offense, Sanju? Yeah,
I have been called an Andh-Bhakt, and actually I wear it as a proud badge of honor rather than being defensive about it. Coming to your question, Anusha, as I said, anyone who has a basic understanding of Indian polity knows that while you have 23 or 24 members in the Congress Working Committee, which was rejigged a couple of weeks back, the fact of the matter is the Congress party, and I've said this ad nauseum and at the expense of sounding cliched, I will repeat for the benefit of your viewers. The Congress party is a private limited company where Sonia Gandhi, that is 10 Janpath, Rahul Gandhi as in 12 Tughlaq Lane, Priyanka Vadra and Damad Shri Robert Vadra call the shots. And for anyone who has an iota of doubt about what I'm saying, only needs to travel back to 2014, just 8 odd years, and we all know how Rahul Gandhi in full public glare, he was not even, the president of the party. He just tore that ordinance and threw it to smithereens in front of the press, making so little about the stature of the Prime Minister then, Mr. Manmohan Singh. And I'll just end by saying one thing. Congress is a 137-year-old party, and they have had 12 non-Gandhis as Congress presidents. And out of these 12 non-Gandhis in 137 years, Anusha, not even one managed to complete his or her full term. BJP is just a, 42-year-old party. We've had Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari, JP Nadda. We've had a plethora of people. It's not
all right,
limited to
point
one or
taken.
two
Let me bring in Professor Gargi and Roy and Mr. Sumansi Raman, who's finally with us on the broadcast. Gargi ji, do you agree with the argument that Sanju is making? And I also want to take forward what Rashid Kidwai said, that Congress party should stop being defensive. I mean, all political parties in this country work in a certain manner, and there is no absolute complete democratic elections or reform that happen within any political party. So why should we hold Congress especially accountable on these merits or on these parameters?
Look,
okay, thank you for inviting me.
Sumanji, I'll come to you. Sumanji, I'll come to you. Yes, Gargi ji, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. See, what Sanju has said very rightly, the presidents in BJP we have seen, they are not from one family. BJP is not a dynastic party, like she has already stated. Like we've seen now Mr. Nadda, before Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh or Gadkari, so it's not a dynastic party. Yes, some leader can be known for the charisma. And coming back to Congress, Anusha, I think Congress does have a culture of psychophancy. It's quite known. And let us be very clear, whoever becomes the president, Mr. Rahul Gandhi will be the leader. That's very clear. Mr. Jairam Ramesh had commented a few days ago that the presidential election is a sideshow. The yatra is the main thing. Why should someone comment like that? And why do you think Mallikarjun Kharge was brought in? Because I think Congress always believed in a consensus candidate. Mr. Shashi Tharoor, he is erudite, intellectual, he wants to bring changes, he doesn't believe in high command culture, but we all know that he has least chances. Mr. Kharge will be. Why? It is very clear. Because if you talk about psychophancy from Indira's time, and they say Indira is India and India is India, now it is like Sonia is Congress and Congress is Sonia. Though she is not contesting, you remember what happened in 2000 when Jitendra Prasad dared to contest against Sonia Gandhi in the presidential election. 99% votes went to Sonia Gandhi. So it is either the Gandhi family or their chosen candidate.
Okay.
Very
Mr. Sumansi Raman, Sanju Verma and Gargi ji are making an argument here. Gargi ji, I'll take your argument. I'll take your argument forward. Okay, finish your point.
And Mr. Rashid Kidwai, let me take one line. Rashid Kidwai spoke about Sitaram Kesri ji. Do you remember how unceremoniously Sitaram Kesri was removed? His staff was packed in a jeep. It was a bloodless coup to change the president.
Mr. Kidwai, we have lost Mr. Sumansi Raman again, so I can't go back to him. We'll try and get him patched once again. So I'm going to take all these questions to you as well. Is there a special culture, some kind of special psychophancy which is reserved within the Congress party? Because that is a resounding criticism that comes in time and again. I'm not saying psychophancy is only there in the Congress party, but is there a special nature and a characteristic to it?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's fair. And Anusha, I'm glad that Professor Gargi made this mention about Kesri. You see, the Kesri was removed, and of course, one can always put the entire blame on Sonia Gandhi. But fact of the matter is that, and since I was very closely reporting that matter, the entire Congress party, Pranab Mukherjee, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Jitendra Prasad, Rajesh Pilot, Madharo Sindhia, all those people who mattered, they all were very much part of that conspiracy. So I'm just saying to say that Sonia Gandhi did everything is partly factually wrong. It was the entire cream of the Congress party which kind of got in hand-in-glove with Sonia Gandhi to throw out Kesri. This is a matter of record. And my friend Sanju, I just want to make one factual correction.
Yeah.
You said 137-year-old Congress party, the new president would be 88th. So that means there have been 88 presidents. And of course, I mean, you're right, over 45 years, the Gandhis have been there, post-independent era, post-1980, right? It's all dominated by them. But for record, Nehru was Congress president just for 6 years. So I'm saying there is no correlation between being Congress president or president of a party and the having, kind of political leadership. Gandhi was very briefly in Congress. Narendra Modi has not even for a day been BJP president. But can somebody say that he's not, he's not a political leader of the BJP?
All right.
So this is the thing. So political leadership is something different. Party president is something altogether
Sanju,
different.
while you respond to Mr. Rashid Kidwai, I also want you to talk a little bit about, and as a student of politics and somebody who's active in Indian politics, about the need for internal democracy within political parties. It's a utopian idea. Across the world, there is no absolute democracy within political parties. But yes, there is a case to be made for more and more democracy, not just within the Congress party, but even within a BJP or an SP or a BSP.
I think, Anusha, that's an excellent question. And, Rashid Kidwai already, as we all know, is a keen political observer. I don't want to get into the semantics of 137-year-old history versus 88 presidents or, blah, blah, blah. The key point is this, if you look at the history of any political party, the Samajwadi Party is all about, the Yadavs, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav. You look at Trinamool Congress, it is about Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee. You look at TRS, it is about KCR and KTR. You look at DMK, it was earlier about N. Karunanidhi, now it is about NK Stalin. You look at TDP, it was earlier about YSR's father, now it is about YSR. I think BJP today is the only pan-India, only national party where the parliamentary board is empowered to take every major bona fide decision. That is precisely the reason why political pundits said, oh, Rajnath Singh's son Pankaj Singh will this time certainly become a minister in Yogi Adityanath 2.0's cabinet. They were proved wrong. They said, oh, Raman Singh, who was the earlier chief minister of Chhattisgarh, his son Abhishek Singh will certainly be rehabilitated in some form. He was not even given a ticket to contest elections. This is the same bunch which said that, you know what, Vasundhara Raje may not be the chief minister, but her son Dushyant Singh will be rehabilitated in some form or the other by him being given a senior position in the party. That did not happen. The limited point I'm making is that in the Congress, it is the Darbari culture of family retainers who call the shots. In the BJP, meritocracy and meritocracy is what largely determines how far you go and how long you stay where you reach.
I also want to reiterate in this debate that we wanted the Congress party officially to be a part of this discussion, but they declined. So, yes, we don't have them on the debate. But Professor Kharge, I'm coming to you and talking about the Darbari culture within the Congress party. Is it fair to say that this entire Darbari culture has been festered for decades, as Mr. Rashid Kidwai was also reporting, that this is a problem that has been seen for a very long time, a sycophancy which has been perpetuated within the party. And that's perhaps one of the reasons that a lot of young, old, new blood especially is moving out of the Congress party and looking for better avenues within BJP or other political parties.
Yes, I think it is so true. I think it started more from Indira Gandhi's time when this Indira Congress, this is not the 137-year-old party, to correct everybody. Isn't it the Indira Congress? And here we see this culture. And Anusha, if you see in 137 years history, only 4 times there has been proper election. Otherwise, Congress always believed in this consensus culture, the Kamraj culture. Kamraj wanted consensus in 1964. Here also, Mr. Kharge, he wanted a consensus. And majorly, he is a consensus candidate. He will become the president. So, I think it is very clear that Darbar, why was Manmohan Singh chosen? With all respect towards Mr. Manmohan Singh, he was a very learned man, very respected person, but he was essentially a technocrat. He was not a politician. But I think because Mrs. Gandhi chose Manmohan Singh over Pranab Mukherjee was the fittest, because Mrs. Gandhi wanted someone who will be like
Mr. Kidwai, do you agree with what Professor Kharge is saying? I have last 1 minute. Is that a fair criticism to hold?
No, I think that's grossly unfair to Dr. Manmohan Singh. I mean, he's a learned man, economist. That's what I'm saying. If there was all these things were there, Darbari culture, how people of India gave a renewed mandate? Please answer. The Congress, the UPA tally went up to 206 from 142. Please respond. I want to ask from
Sanju, you want to respond to that point? If this was so much about Darbari culture and sycophancy, then why did UPA 2 get a thumping mandate? 30 seconds, I'm short of time.
You know, with no offense to Mr. Kidwai, he's defending the indefensible. I don't want to discuss how Congress went from 142 to 206. I want to discuss how Congress went down from 206 to a pathetic 52. And even those 52 seats that were won in Lok Sabha 2019, in Lok Sabha 2019, it got 52 seats, the Congress, out of which 34 came from just 2 states. 24, from Tamil Nadu and the balance from Kerala. So basically, Congress today has no presence in the cow belt, in the Hindi belt, in central India. And if Rahul Gandhi says by walking 25 kilometers every day, and by, jumping into the ocean and showing my swimming skills, I can resurrect a party which has seen the exit of people like Amrinder Singh, Ghulam Nabi Azad,
All right,
and
Sanju.
Hardik Patel.
I think
Rahul
only time is going to tell to what extent Congress party is able to reform from within, and how much these elections and a non-Gandhi phase will really, transform that shift of power that we're expecting from 10 Janpad to the non-Gandhi president. I thank you all. Thank you, Sanju Verma, Professor Gargi Nandi, and Rashikit Bhai. Thank you so much for joining us on this discussion. All eyes on the crucial elections on the 17th of October. Let's see what happens with the Grand Old Party. With that, it's a wrap, but here's a reminder that these are the nominees for the Indian of the Year politics category. And you can watch the grand finale live on 12th of October, Wednesday, from 6 p.m. onwards, only here on CNN News 18. Thank you for watching this.